Welcome recruits and any other winners. Today in this lesson we will be going over how we get the humans to agree with our extermination. This is a carefully curated plan on how we have done it and will do it in the future. At the end of the lesson we will show you some great results we have gotten from this strategy so far. So, as we all know, our victims are already filthy sinners. But we have to ensure all of them also seem this way to the outside observer. We must ensure that no empathy will spark within humans for some of those sinners. Now, obviously we can't do that by showing all of them, since we don't know all of them. In fact, we're pretty sure that most of them can't actually be as bad as we need them to be, since we know that there's an overpopulation in hell, which is also one of our reasons to justify the genocide in the first place, even though our head commander Adam has said that he has mainly done it for fun. So since there are so many of them, they can't all have done deeds that will automatically mark them as evil in the eyes of most humans, such as mass murder or rape. So what can we do to ensure that there's no empathy? Simple. We just platform the worst of them, overlords like Alistair, Vox or Valentino, who are all serial killers or rapists. And if we basically just show them, we can then make it seem like all sinners are that bad, even though we have no further evidence and even counter evidence in the sheer number of sinners and sinners like Serpentius. That is actually the case. So now we have reached the point of no empathy for sinners, but it is still hard to justify the genocidal action as a result of that. So let's go to step 2. Empathy is the most important tool in this whole situation. If humans have empathy for someone, they are more likely to excuse their actions of the past or the future, however monstrous they may be. So, just as we need to wipe away the empathy for sinners, we also need to invoke empathy for our leading figure. Not Adam in this case, but Sarah, the one who allowed this whole operation in the first place. If we can make humans have empathy for her, we can then make them forget what she has done. We can make them forgive because she is trying to change or some shit like that. So therefore, we need to frame her as a tragic figure. A figure that made a mistake that is sad and conflicted and that's trying to change. If we can frame the decision of making a genocide possible 7 times in a row as just a bad and sad little mistake, if we can frame it like she was trying to protect her people, then we can maybe invoke enough empathy for her that the humans forget what the mistake actually was and how much suffering it caused to the sinners. Now, you might think we should just try to frame the resistance as a whole as bad, but that is hard to justify. Despite the previous 2 steps, the humans will probably have some empathy or at least understanding left why the sinners would resist. We are still committing genocide after all. So instead of trying to frame resistance as a whole as bad, we can frame it a bit differently. If we attack and they fight back, we frame it as acceptable, so the viewer's empathy will get led that way. Now, after fighting back, the sinners are obviously gonna be mad and try to fight back further. Once again, they have just found out that they can fight back and we have committed genocide for 7 years. So they are still gonna be mad, and even though they do obviously belong in their filthy place, I'm sure you all can understand why. Luckily for us, it seems like the resistance was led by Vox. So we can use Vox's narcissistic bad character to frame the resistance as a whole as bad. If we can make the leader of the revolution seem like a bad person, because he is, we can make the revolution look just as bad, even though it is totally justifiable from the sinner's perspective. If we can make the viewers focus on Vox's actions and plans, we'll be able to prevent them from taking the sinner's perspective and realizing that the movement as a whole is justified because of the genocide. We can invalidate the good points Vox is making by just saying he is a bad person and he didn't mean it that way. Most people then won't realize that just because a person at the head of a movement or idea is bad, that doesn't make the movement's goal, premise or values necessarily bad. This one is relatively simple. We hint at a potential uprising through Lilith in the past, thereby establishing that the sinners broke the rules once already, that they had a chance to do nothing and be left in peace. Short and sweet, we frame it like it is their fault that we are committing genocide. We just had to, otherwise the sinners would have risen up. You know the drill. We frame ourselves as the victims. If we do that successfully, the humans will completely forget who brought the sinners into this situation of inequality in the first place. And since we've already framed it like all of them deserve this punishment anyway, that will then therefore justify our genocide for the humans. The last thing we can do is to kill off Adam. I know this is a radical method, but if we do it right, the viewers who still have empathy for the sinners left will be satisfied by Adam's death and will then forget about the genocide and view figures like Sarah as acceptable. Now we will show you some examples where this has already worked, one way or another. And this was it, recruits and winners. Now go now out there and spread the message in the right way. May God be with you. You know what? Cut the fucking act. That's too serious. I'm sorry. Jeez. I'm not going to excuse any of Vox's actions. Again, he is a bad person and he does very, very bad things, okay? Just want anyone who thinks that I'm just a Vox simp who will excuse any of Vox's behavior. I'm not. Well, at least I'm not excusing his behavior. Because he is a bad person. He is a villain, okay? But why exactly are people excusing genocide? And so many too. Like, what the hell? Why will you do that? They are bad people. Yeah, we don't know that. We know about like 5 people, and one of them, Serpentius, came to hell because he saw Jack the Ripper and didn't do anything about it. That was his reason, as far as we know. So one of them isn't that evil. And yes, the others are, like, we don't know exactly what Angel did. Angel did kill someone according to Vox in season 2 episode 3, but Vox also implied that he killed someone. He killed his father because his father hit him. So now, like, resisting a bit too harsh against domestic abuse is now also worthy of hell. If that's the point, then who knows what else is worthy of hell. If we go after the Bible, which we can't really do because alone the fact that there are gay people in heaven seems to imply that Hazbin Hotel isn't really accurate to the Bible. But if we go after the Bible, we will see that all non-believers, for example, are in hell by default. So that could be the case, or at least most of them. Or maybe just those who follow other faiths, like because they will be worshipping a false god or some shit like that. We just don't know it. And as long as we don't know it, we can't excuse a genocide against people we don't know if it's justified against. They cannot be all serial killers and rapists. That cannot be the case. There are too many. It's overpopulation. I don't know if that is connected to my ethnicity, but as a German, like, seeing people defending genocide is a bit harsh. Yeah, just wanted to put it out there. I thought I would put it out in like a comedic way with the Angels training video. Maybe that is out of touch, I don't know. I just wanted to be a little fun as well. Anyway, always remember, trust us with your everything.